In the quiet town of Willow Creek, Kentucky, the kind of crime that made headlines didn't happen. People didn't lock their doors. Kids still rode bikes after dark. Everyone knew everyone, and nothing ever changed. But on April 14th, 2017, something changed forever. A woman was found dead in her bed. No forced entry, no visible wounds, just silence, and a cell phone that wouldn't stop ringing. The name flashing on the screen, not her husband, not her family, a stranger. And what that phone would reveal would turn a quiet death into a chilling tale of betrayal, deception, and a husband with everything to gain. This is Crime Files Uncovered, and tonight we unearth the secrets of Daniel Reeves, the man who lived two lives and left one in a grave. Erin Reeves was the kind of woman people described as warm, a bright smile, PTA mom, volunteered on Sundays at the animal shelter. She worked full-time at McKinley Insurance Group. Everyone said she adored her husband, Daniel. Daniel, the hero, a local paramedic who saved lives for a living. To outsiders, they were the couple others envied. A beautiful home, a sweet 8-year-old daughter, and a Labrador named Cooper. But what no one saw was the growing distance behind closed doors. Erin had been confiding in her sister for months. "He doesn't touch me anymore," she wrote in a text. "He's always somewhere else, mentally, physically, emotionally." Her sister thought maybe it was work stress, but Erin didn't buy it, and just 6 days before she died, she told her best friend something chilling over brunch with a concerned expression as she spoke to her best friend over brunch. Her hands rest on the table, and her eyes convey a sense of warning, as if she saw her death coming. "If something happens to me, it wasn't an accident." On April 14th, Erin was supposed to lead the morning team meeting at work. When she didn't show, her coworker Rachel called. No answer. Texted, still no reply. Something felt wrong. She has a concerned and anxious expression as she stares at her phone, repeatedly trying to reach Erin. She stands near Erin's empty desk with a growing sense of unease in her posture. By 11:38 a.m., Rachel drove to Erin's house, only to find the front door slightly ajar. She has a worried and anxious expression, standing near the slightly ajar front door of Erin's house. Her body language shows hesitation as she looks inside, sensing that something is wrong. Cooper the dog, a medium-sized Labrador with a shiny yellow coat, was barking frantically behind the screen door. The dog has an alarmed and worried expression, ears perked up as if sensing something is terribly wrong. Erin was upstairs in bed, eyes closed. At first glance, it looked like she was sleeping, but she wasn't breathing. Her skin was cold. The bed was made. There were no bruises, no blood, no sign of a break-in. Just stillness. And on the nightstand, her phone, screen lit up with missed calls, an eerie sign of something gone wrong. Same number, over and over. Contact name, Jade. When police arrived, they initially suspected natural causes, maybe a heart attack or overdose. But Erin was only 35. She was healthy, no meds, no depression. Toxicology would later reveal amitriptyline mixed with alcohol, a lethal dose. But Erin didn't drink, and she wasn't on antidepressants. The combination felt deliberate. The police officer stands in front of Erin's bed, looking down at the scene with a thoughtful, concerned gaze, contemplating the unusual circumstances of Erin's death. And then there was that name, Jade. Her friends were adamant Erin didn't know a Jade. The number, traced to a burner phone, the kind people buy when they don't want to be found, the kind cheaters use, or hitmen. Daniel Reeves wasn't at the house. He wasn't answering calls. His co-worker said he'd called in sick, said he had the flu and was staying with his brother out of town. His phone remains silent, unanswered, as he hides away in a motel room, far from the scene of his wife's death. Police tracked him down that night at a roadside motel 80 miles away. He looked disheveled, pale. "What happened?" he asked when they told him Erin was dead. But when they mentioned the toxicology, and the mystery contact Jade, something in his eyes changed. His eyes shift with suspicion and guilt. His lips tighten, and he falls silent, avoiding further questions. He said it was probably spam, then he stopped talking. 2 days later, Daniel's car was impounded. In the glove compartment, police found another burner phone. This one, it was his, and it was full of text threads, hundreds of them, between him and a woman named Jade Sullivan. She lived in Lexington. She was 29, and she thought Daniel was a widower. For over a year, Daniel had been leading a double life. He told Jade his wife had died of cancer. He said he was raising his daughter alone. He promised they'd be together soon. In one message just 3 weeks before Aaron's death, he wrote, "Everything's almost in place. Once this clears, it'll be just us." Investigators dug deeper. Daniel had recently taken out a $500,000 life insurance policy on Aaron, one that only paid out if her death was ruled an accident or natural. He also had access to restricted medications from his job as a paramedic, including amitriptyline. That bottle never reported missing, but 2 pills were logged and unaccounted for. Police returned to the Reeves home and searched the trash. The police officer, a middle-aged officer in his 40s with short, neatly trimmed hair, wearing a dark blue uniform and a serious expression. He kneels beside a crumpled paper towel in the trash, holding a small piece of evidence. His eyes narrow as he examines the trace amounts of powder, matching the chemical signature of the missing pills. The officer glances up at the wine glass, where Daniel's fingerprints are still visible, the final piece of evidence linking him to the crime. Deep in a crumpled paper towel, they found trace amounts of powder, same chemical signature as the pills. Daniel had crushed them and stirred them into a glass of wine, then cleaned the glass, but he didn't wipe it completely. His fingerprints were still on the stem. Aaron's weren't. Daniel was arrested exactly 11 days after Aaron's death, looking pale and tense as he sat in the courtroom during his trial. His eyes are downcast, avoiding the gaze of the jury, and his expression is one of quiet guilt and fear. His hands are clasped together in front of him, his posture stiff as the weight of his actions becomes evident. His trial lasted 3 weeks. Jade, a woman in her late 20s with long, straight black hair, wearing a simple, somber outfit. She stands at the witness stand, trembling and ashamed. Her expression is filled with regret and embarrassment as she testifies that she had no idea he was married. The text messages were shown to the jury, the wine glass, the missing pills, the life insurance policy. The final nail? In the courtroom was Aaron's friend, a woman in her 30s with medium-length brown hair, wearing a smart office blouse and skirt, standing at the witness stand. Her expression is serious and determined as she recalls the chilling lunch conversation she had with Aaron. "If something happens to me, it wasn't an accident." The jury deliberated for just 6 hours. Daniel Reeves was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The judge, a stern figure, calls the crime a premeditated, cold-blooded execution, masked as a tragedy, his voice firm and unwavering as he delivers the sentence. Daniel's fate is sealed as he is sentenced to life in prison without parole. The courtroom is still, the gravity of the judgment palpable as the guilty man faces the consequences of his actions. Aaron never saw it coming. She loved her husband. She trusted him to protect her, but he looked her in the eyes and poured the glass anyway. All for freedom, all for money, all for Jade. But in the end, Jade vanished. She deleted her social media, moved away, changed her name. Some say she was just another victim of Daniel's lies. Others aren't so sure. You've been watching Crime Files Uncovered. Subscribe for more real cases of betrayal, murder, and the crimes that don't just break the law, they break the people who trusted most. Let us know in the comments what Aaron Reeves would have done differently to save her life when she suspected a growing distance between her and Daniel Reeves, her husband of more than 8 years of marriage. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and stay tuned.